el departamento que está persiguiendo a este conductor en esta camioneta negra en color, creo. Es una camioneta vieja. Y este vehículo es buscado por la policía porque creen que es un vehículo robado y que el vehículo también fue usado en un robo. Al momento se desconoce cuándo el carro fue robado y dónde ocurrió también el robo, pero al momento se cree que hay solo una persona a bordo, es un hombre, el que está manejando este vehículo, y la persecución, como les digo, empezó en Gardena, estaba en la autopista 110 y se salió eventualmente en la avenida Florence, en el sur de Los Ángeles, donde nos encontramos ahora aquí en las calles del área. Al momento nos encontramos en la avenida Central, acercándonos a la calle 57, y como les repito, esta es una persecución policial involucrando a la patrulla de caminos de California, que está persiguiendo a este conductor desde la tierra y desde el aire usando el helicóptero, una persona a bordo de este vehículo robado. Back with you guys here in English. I was just doing a quick little report there for our sister station Telemundo. Central Avenue at 60th. We're a little bit further because we do have some airspace restrictions because of LAX. He's coming up to a red light here, wrong side of the road, and going to be making that, looks like a westbound turn on a gauge from Central. So westbound gauge, if he continues west, that'll put him over towards the 110 freeway. Approaching Avalon. I don't think he has any units directly behind him. I think they've given him some room. So it's surveillance only from what I can tell. So helicopter only on this one. He was just driving so erratically. Having the units back off may help and may get him to slow down a little bit, because hopefully he'll think he's no longer being pursued and he'll slow his roll. So of course the night sun is there. He may or may not be able to see that. He's got a little bit of traffic here, so that's why he's slowing down just a bit. High 40s. Again, no units behind him from what I can see, just the helicopter overhead. They had said that if he ran red lights that they were going to back the units off, so he's running red lights, so they did exactly what they were going to do. They backed off. Continuing westbound, about 55 miles an hour, coming up to Maine, so back in the direction that we came. I'm hoping he jumps on the freeway. That would really be the safest thing at this point, because it at least takes cross traffic out of the equation. It takes red lights out of the mix, pedestrians, some of those things that could really escalate this pursuit. Just made that northbound turn here onto Main Street. Yeah. So Saro just noticed that this guy's basically doing a circle. And so when drivers start to do that, typically that is because it is an area that is familiar to them and they plan on ditching the car somewhere and planning on to take off running. So if we continue to see him on the same streets, that's probably what he's thinking. But because he is starting to drive on the same streets, that may actually be beneficial to officers as well, because they could try to put some spike strips up ahead of him, because they could pretty much guess where he's going to be. At this point, there's no officers directly behind him, so we'd have to get some in the area. But for now, it is just helicopter only, northbound on Main, approaching 54th Street. So normally we'd be a lot closer to these pursuit vehicles, but because of the LAX restrictions in the area, that's why we're a little bit further away. But we've got a powerful camera here, so I'll zoom in as much as I can and give you guys the picture. He's still high speeds, as you can tell. The correct speed is about 50 miles an hour. It's just still fluctuating. Oh gosh, did you guys see that? That pedestrian, oblivious to this vehicle being in the pursuit, just crossed in front of the car. Oh gosh, that could have been a close call for sure. And this guy continuing to run red lights. And again, there's no ground units behind this guy, so you wouldn't even know that this guy's being pursued, other than if you see the night sun from the helicopter. Main Street coming up to MLK. Let's see what he does. Going to continue through, so going to go northbound on Main. if he continues northbound on Main, it does help us to get a little bit closer, because once he gets closer to the 10 freeway, then we'll be able to get a lot closer to the chase. Again, that's due to airspace restrictions. But Main Street at 37th Street, we're still in South LA. It's also an area known as historic South LA, so that's pretty much what we're coming up to. So heading in the direction of the 10 freeway. Through Jefferson, there you go. So going to do a quick update here for our sister station Telemundo. We'll be right back in English. Thank you for watching. Buenas noches una vez más desde el helicóptero. Yo soy Eliana Moreno reportando sobre una persecución policial que se encuentra en el sur de Los Ángeles. Estamos en la calle Main, yendo hacia el norte en la dirección de la calle 27. Entonces estamos justo al sur de la autopista 10, justo al sur del centro de Los Ángeles. Esta es la patrulla de caminos de California que está persiguiendo al conductor de esta camioneta, presumiblemente un carro robado que fue encontrado en la ciudad de Gardena. Oh, gosh, disculpen, casi se estrella contra ese vehículo rojo aquí en la calle Main, acercándonos a la calle Washington. Esta es una persecución donde el conductor ha estado manejando a alta velocidad. Ha sido una persecución peligrosa. Y creo que posiblemente está perdiendo un poco de control, pero está ahorita abajo de la autopista 10. Vamos a ver si sale en el otro lado. Ahí está. Posiblemente se va a tratar de montar a la autopista, pero estamos en el área de ahora del centro de Los Ángeles, donde casi se estrella con otro vehículo una vez más en la calle Broadway, acercándose a la calle 17. Les repito, este es un carro presumiblemente robado que primero fue visto en el área de Gardena por los oficiales de esa ciudad, y el carro se montó a la autopista 110 y eventualmente se salió en la avenida Florence, donde ahora la patrulla de caminos de California lo está persiguiendo en las calles. Y ha estado a alta velocidad, pero finalmente está manejando un poco más despacio aquí en el centro de Los Ángeles, en la calle Olive, acercándose a la calle 14. Al momento se cree que solo hay una persona a bordo, un hombre, es el conductor. Reportando desde el helicóptero, Eliana Moreno, Telemundo 52. Okay. Back with you guys here in English. You saw a lot of close calls there. He's just on the other side of this building. I'm going to widen out here for just a moment. Wouldn't be a bad spot for him to ditch the car, possibly, but looks like he's going to continue. 14th at Broadway. So he pulled over there for just a moment. We didn't really see what he did. I think the airship, somebody possibly got out? Okay. Yeah, so airship overhead thinks that maybe he dropped someone off there when he pulled over momentarily. We had a building in the way, so it was impossible really for us to see, but the airship overhead believes that that's what he saw. So that's probably why he pulled over there. Kind of widen out here for just a moment. He's coming on the other side of this building. I think that's the McGuire pad, if I'm not mistaken, here at 17th and the 10 freeway. There we go, 17th at Grand. And possibly going to be working his way back towards the 10 freeway. Yep, entering the 10 eastbound. So eastbound 10 from Grand, so that'll put him over towards the 10 at the 110 here in a moment. So we're right next to Crypto.com, we're next to the convention center, so we're just on the south side of the buildings. And it looks like he's setting up to go 110 north. So 110 north from the 10 freeway. So we're going to be passing right by the CHP Central Division office here, which is right at the interchange. And again, it is CHP that is in pursuit of this driver as we complete the transition here. Thank you. So what Saro is hearing, because he can hear all the helicopter chatter up here, currently there's no ground units behind this vehicle. It's just a helicopter only, but possibly maybe getting back behind him since he's now back on the highway. So again, northbound on the 110 freeway, coming away from the 10 freeway next to the buildings here in downtown Los Angeles. We're just on the west side of the buildings. So again, initially, it was unknown how many people were in the car. We could see that it was a male driver, and it was unclear on the passenger, but he did stop momentarily here in the downtown LA area, and it appears that he did drop someone off. So at some point, there apparently was a passenger, and now we're thinking it's just the driver, but of course there's the possibility that somebody else could still be inside. So 110 freeway at 6th Street. So they're trying to get some units behind it, is what I'm hearing. It was CHP South LA, but now they're trying to see if they can get some of the Central Division units behind it. He's 110 approaching the interchange with the 101, approaching the 4 level. Central's getting in position, so I'm tuning one of my scanners to the CHP black frequency. So for those of you who are following along on the scanner, it's going to be on the CHP black. He's on the transition with the 101. There he is. Committed to the southbound 101. So now he's passing by the Catholic Church that is just on the south side of the 101 freeway. So southbound 101 freeway. Sure, it's 101 at Alameda. 101 south at Alameda. He's in the number 4 lane. Okay, cool, there we go. So you'll notice the airship is back on it, night sun there on him. Approaching Mission Road on the 101 freeway. He may be exiting though. He may try to exit here at Mission. Yep, exiting on Mission. So I'm gonna widen out here. Can't really see from this side too well, but I can see that he's at the off-ramp. He's stuck behind a car is what I'm hearing. So Saro's coming around so we can see the vehicle. Okay, looks like the traffic is moving. He's at the bottom of the off-ramp. I'm gonna widen out because I don't know if he's gonna go left or right. Northbound. So northbound on a Mission, he's under the freeway here. We'll see him pop out here in just a second. He's stopped underneath the freeway. So he's just underneath the 101 here at Mission. That's the sheriff's helicopter overhead. There's the truck. The vehicle's completely stopped. The doors are closed, so at this point it's unclear if anyone has gotten out. I see somebody walking away there. Unit from the CHP is pulling up now. I kind of want to keep a loose shot because if we see somebody walking around. Yeah, there's somebody walking down there under the freeway. You'll notice him there. I did see that person walking away, but at this point it's unclear if that person has anything to do with anything. Unfortunately, we do have unhoused people that live under the freeway here, so it very well could just be somebody who lives here. But you'll notice him there. That's who they're kind of keeping an eye on. Kind of hard to tell. It's really dark. He has something in his hand. some sort. It's hard to tell. It almost looks like a cart of some sort. But I would think that if he was trying to run away from the police, he would have ran a lot faster than that. So at this point, officers are at the vehicle. They still have to clear it. But at this point, it doesn't seem like there is anybody inside. And this guy that we were watching isn't really making an effort to flee the area. The airship, though, does want somebody to go over there and talk to that guy. Could you go a little more to the west, Sarah? Just so I can see the car as they clear it. Okay, yeah, that's the guy that the airship's watching. This was believed to be a male driver who was in the vehicle, but the doors are closed, so that's kind of what's throwing the officers off. They don't know if the guy got out and closed the door, so they don't know if somebody's still in there. We're at 101 at Mission. The guy with the straw hat's just behind the building there. Again, he may have nothing to do with this, but they just want to talk to him, try to figure that part out. This was stolen and burglary. Okay, here we go. Officers are approaching the vehicle. They're going to clear it. They don't know if anyone's in there. That's the thing. They don't know if the driver ran away. But we're about to find out. They've got their guns drawn. Yep, they're clearing the vehicle now. They're not seeing anyone, so nobody in the car. So now we can try to focus our attention on that guy that's walking away. Because that may or may not be our guy. You'll see the knights in there from the helicopter. They're shining it where they last saw that guy. So the vehicle is 1124. That's the code for abandoned. So that means nobody's in there. So our guy is on the run. Whether he's the guy in the straw hat or not, that is yet to be determined. But one of the questions I get the most, being a helicopter reporter, is do pursuit suspects get away? Well, the answer is sometimes they do. So we'll see if this is one of them. So one of our viewers, Robert, is asking if I think another car picked him up. Now, that's a possibility. He was under the freeway overpass there for a few seconds before we saw the vehicle on the other side. So there's a possibility somebody did pick up this person, but I think the greatest possibility is that the guy simply walked away. It could possibly be that guy with the straw hat, or that guy could have nothing to do with any of this, and the person responsible simply ran away. At this point, it's unclear, but officers are going to try to locate the man in the hat, and they're going to try to talk to him, try to figure out if he was in the vehicle or not. He was last spotted under the 101 freeway near Mission. And once again, if you're just joining us, this was a pursuit of a stolen truck, also wanted for a burglary, initiated out of Gardena, and then the CHP took over because the pursuit got on the freeway. It was on the 110 freeway and the 101 and exited here at Mission and parked under the freeway. And then at that point, where the driver went, your guess is as good as mine. It could be a man that they saw walking away, or he may have nothing to do with this, and that was just a random person, and the responsible person, or the person responsible for all of this is on the lam. So we're going to stay overhead for a few more minutes, try to see if officers are able to figure this one out. But again, this is in downtown Los Angeles, 101 freeway at Mission. Buenas noches, una vez más desde el helicóptero. Yo soy Eliana Moreno reportando sobre una persecución policial que acaba de terminar aquí en el centro de Los Ángeles, cerca de la autopista 101, más bien justo abajo de la autopista 101, en la calle Mission. El conductor de esa camioneta empezó una persecución con la policía de Gardena y eventualmente con la patrulla de caminos de California. La persecución continuó en la autopista 110 y 101 y el conductor paró abajo de la autopista y se echó a la fuga, y al momento se desconoce si es un hombre que fue visto caminando en el área o si posiblemente esa persona no tiene nada que ver con esta persecución y el conductor se fue corriendo del área. Al momento se desconoce, pero estoy escuchando el radio, por eso, perdonen la pausa, pero estoy escuchando el radio de la policía para tratar de agarrar más información. Pero lo que estoy escuchando es que ven a 3 personas abajo de la autopista. Y al momento se desconoce si esas 3 personas fueron parte de esta persecución o si son personas que simplemente están caminando en el área. Pero como pueden ver, las luces ahí de los oficiales están siguiendo la búsqueda para el conductor. Pensábamos inicialmente que él era la única persona dentro del vehículo, pero durante la persecución paró por un instante y posiblemente dejó que su pasajero o pasajera se salieran del vehículo antes de que él continuó la persecución por unos minutos más, antes de que él paró abajo de la autopista y se echó a la fuga, donde la búsqueda continúa aquí en el centro de Los Ángeles. Yeah, I don't think they have found the guy with the hat yet, with the straw hat. This is somebody else over here. Copy that. Thank you once again to everyone who joined us on NBCLA.com and all of our streaming platforms. I know you guys sent me plenty of messages on Twitter or X. We, of course, appreciate your viewership. This pursuit was just going so quick, though, I didn't have time to look down and look at your messages. But thank you for reaching out to us. We're going to continue to work this story. We're going to try to get you a final result here of what happened to this guy or anybody else who may have been in that vehicle on this pursuit here that ended in the downtown LA area and started all the way in Gardena. Police pursuit of a stolen car, also wanted for a burglary. But we're going to depart for now. We're going to have the latest on the NBC4 News at 11 o'clock. We hope you can tune in for that. Once again, from News Drop Report, I'm Eliana Moreno alongside my pilot, Sarah Garabetian. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you at 11. But prior to that, I should say, we actually do have another little newscast that's going to be after the football game. So for those of you watching the game, just keep it on NBC4, and we'll be on right after the Chargers game. We'll see you on that one.